Welcome, my people. Welcome to the video. On today's video, I'm just gonna be going through top-down analysis, show you guys how I analyze using the ICT, obviously, and how I take trades. But mainly, this video is just based on like my directional bias. This is like the first thing that I do every Monday or before the market opens, and these are like analysis that I actually reflect to every single day, every time I take a trade, so I know that what am I looking at? Am I looking at buys? Am I looking at sells? So that will be like what I'll be doing today, showing you guys how I actually find my directional bias for the day or for the week. So yeah, so firstly, before I get into anything, I just start with the dollar index, because it just gives me an idea on how the rest of the forex pairs or even the indices, how they will be moving in the coming day or week or month or whatever. So I like doing a top-down analysis first on the DXY before I actually check anything else, so I can know what I'm looking for. I don't want to be analyzing, starting maybe with the EURUSD, maybe okay, I'm seeing a sell, and then going into the DXY, and it's showing me like, okay, the dollar will be losing strength this week. We're on a downtrend. I'm expecting lower prices on the DXY, and yet I'm selling EURUSD. So to avoid being caught up in those situations, I just like analyze the DXY first and see what I have. So here we're on a weekly chart. As you can see, prices, I like doing a top-down analysis from this. As you can see, market came here creating this order block, this bearish order block. I normally don't like using order blocks with like a smaller body. They're not really that strong. I don't really trust them, but either way, I just use them, but yeah, and since it's a weekly order block, it's might hold. So as you can see, created that order block, we went down, created new relatively equal lows, and then prices went up a bit, and then as you can see, started pushing up to the upside, creating this bullish order block here, and then we went up. As you can see, on this following week, prices came into the 75 or 25%, yeah, 25% of the order block, and then rejected off of that, balancing, going to cover this order block, this bearish order block here. And then as you can see, price actually closed inside the order block. We didn't close outside the order block, so that's nice. And then prices went all the way down into the consequent encouragement a bit, probably the 70% here or 60% of this bullish order block. And as this bullish order block here held for the next 2 weeks, and then went back up to actually balance this fair value gap here, and then rejecting off of that, we took out this sell side liquidity or the relatively equal lows, breaking all the way to this BC down there. That's like a weekly BC, but it didn't tap in. As you can see, it didn't actually tap in the BC, just rejected off before it tapped in, and then it went all the way up, going for higher prices, creating this weekly BC also here, fair value gap, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And then as you can see, again rejecting off of this bearish order block again, we went back all the way to reprice or rebalance this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, the fair value gap, went all the way to rebalance it, and then we went up, breaking above that order block, giving us a market structure shift. And as you can see, we took out that buy side liquidity there, and then now we're currently in a volume imbalance. I'm pretty sure it's like a 4-hour or 1-hour volume imbalance. So this is what I'll be looking for maybe a week ahead. I know that, okay, if the prices are here, I'm expecting this buy side to be taken out, and also this order block to be for price to close above, and that's where I'm looking forward for. So I know that okay, during the whole week or the next 2 weeks, I'm looking forward to actually buying the dollar. As you can see here, when it rejected off of here and then spiked to the downside, I knew like, okay, this is the closest inefficiency that we have for it to actually reject off of that to go up. So when it got here, I'll also be looking forward. That's when I'll be looking forward to even buy more of the dollar. As you can see, price went for higher prices. Let me switch to the daily. As you can see that prices went to balance that order block again, came back into that weekly BC. The favorite gap went back up, taking out the buy side, taking out this buy side, and then now we're currently running in that it's a daily volume imbalance. As you can see, we have that daily volume imbalance, and then currently we closed above that daily volume imbalance. So I'm still looking forward for higher prices to actually take up this buy side there. So looking for switching to a lower time frame. As you can see, we have this breakaway gap here, the BC. We have this breakaway gap. I'm not actually expecting the dollar to actually reprice or rebalance this fair value gap. I don't want it to rebalance. Maybe it can come 50%. The consequent encouragement of this breakaway gap, and I just wanted to actually just reject off this volume imbalance, reprice this volume imbalance to actually go back. Looking for going to 1 hour. As you can see, we also have this order block there. Let me just do this. We have that order block. So if the price actually close below the order block, this is a bullish order block. So if price actually close below this order block, this might be taken as a breaker block. So it might, if it closes below, we might be expecting this to happen, and then come reprice the order block, then starts giving us lower prices. But that's only if it breaks below this order block, but still we still have that breakaway gap. So it might come into that breakaway gap and then shoot up, targeting that buy side liquidity. So right now, for me to stay confident in being bullish on the dollar index, I don't want to see price actually breaking below that order block. I need to see it reject off this order block, maybe just come there, never close below it, and then give us higher prices. So this is what I'm expecting from the dollar index. So using that information, I just go over other pairs like the EURUSD. As you can see with the EURUSD, prices came here this February, created like a volume imbalance. There's a weekly chart. Always start from your weekly chart, do your analysis from a weekly chart. So as you can see, created that volume imbalance, went all the way back up, and then we reversed, going into the consequent encouragement, which is the halfway of that volume imbalance, and then we went all the way down, creating an order block there. As you can see, price came all the way down here, and then here we go, creating a this is not a BC, I'm sorry, it's a CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It's a CB, or you can just call it a fair value gap. Went back up to rebalance that fair value gap, and then to the pip, it didn't close above it, closed below, and then rejected off, going for lower prices. As you can see, we hit that low over there, and then rejected off of that, started being bullish, then went back up to retest that bearish order block that we created there. As you can see, filled it nicely, came all the way down. We didn't close below this order block here, so that's what we needed. If prices actually went below and closed below it, we'll be looking for lower price. It might go back to actually fill in the breakup block, then show us lower prices, but we didn't break below. rejected off of that, and then we went back up to fill in that order block here, which is still supporting. And then with all that movement going up, we created this order block 2, weekly order block. Prices went back up. I was actually on this here, I was actually thought that the EURUSD would actually fill in this volume imbalance, but we didn't actually fill in that volume imbalance. We just took out this buy side here, and then it didn't go to fill in the volume imbalance. We rejected below, creating lower prices, going into this that bullish order block there, and then it closed inside the bullish order block, went all the way up, also creating this order block here, went back up to rebalance that volume imbalance, and then to the pip, as you can see, it filled in nicely, and then went all the way down. I feel like this is when the dollar was actually going lower, but yeah, as you can see, this is a weekly chart, by the way. So yeah, if you want to swing trade, it's nicely to, if you want to swing trade, this is what you'll be looking for. When prices come here into that order volume imbalance, you just sell off, looking forward to take out the sell side here, and if you're wild, you can just take out the all-time low, that swing low over there. Not sure if it's gonna get there, but looking at the dollar, I'm still looking for higher prices, so we might have the strength to actually go down there. But yeah, as you can see, it sold off. I was actually expecting it to respect this. I was actually expecting it to respect this order block here, this one here, but as you can see, respect that order block, but it broke below and used it as a bearish breaker, went back up. As you can see, this candlestick here went back to reprice it and then rejected off of it. So that was like also another entry to go here. Took out sell side, also taking out the bearish the bullish order block, and then went back up to reprice it, went all the way back down, creating this relatively equal lows, which I'm actually expecting it to be taken out, and also take out this sell side here. So I'm expecting price to actually just take out this, all of this sell side here, then maybe we might see some bullish, probably start seeing some bullish movement to the upside after this has been taken out. And then yeah, but other than that, this has been bearish for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. It's been bearish for the last 9 weeks. So yeah, and also still looking forward for bearish movement. So I know that whenever I take a trade long term, if it's a short term, maybe I might buy for a short term, maybe for 2 hours, 3 hours, or just intraday trading, but I know I'm not gonna hold this over more than a day. I'm just gonna close it less than a few hours and then I'm good, I'm out. But long term, if I'm looking at long term, I'm definitely gonna be looking for sells until all the sell side has been taken out. So here we have the Nasdaq 100, and so here we have the Nasdaq 100. So with DXY, we're looking for higher prices. These are actually inversely correlated. Yeah, inverse. So when one is going up, the other one is actually going down, unless they're just out of sync. The market has tendencies of being imperfect, but normally when I start seeing higher prices on the dollar index, the Nasdaq would actually give us lower prices. So as you can see here, prices have been really it's been a weird week this week. But as you can see, this was the whole CPI, the core CPI, and then we went up, rebalancing that fair value gap, that CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and then as you can see, we closed inside that BC, and then during the news, as you can see, that CPI We went back in, we went up in that fair value gap only to the consequent encouragement, which is almost the halfway, or the halfway is the CE, the consequent encouragement, 50% of an inefficiency, and then rejected off, and then we ended up going up again to reprice it and then going lower. As you can see now, we're just falling off. So at the moment I'm just waiting for those. Is a nice selling entry here. Selling off here will be an ideal, selling off into this order block. So this is where you should be taking all your partials and then just wait for price to actually show us, because I'm expecting this to hold, reject off to give us higher prices. And yeah, we'll just see how this NAS actually works. This is a 1 hour chart. Just see how this NAS what it does in this order block and this 1 hour order block. So now we have the gold. There's a daily chart. As you can see, from here, this was July. Prices went down, giving us lower prices, creating that daily bearish order block there, and then went down, creating lower prices, and then went up, creating this volume imbalance. It's a BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, which is a fair value gap. Went all the way up and then came back to rebalance it. As you can see, this is a nice buying entry, and then we bought, went up, creating this order block also, then went up, going back into that order block there, just covering 25% or 20% of that order block, rejected off of it, rebalancing rebalancing this fair value gap here. I was actually expecting price to actually reject off of this BC to actually go up, but we just went down below this order block. As you can see, we've been rejecting off of that order block for the last 1, 2, 3 days. Reject off of that order block for the last 2-3 days. Went into the consequent encouragement of that inverse fair value gap, this fair value gap, this candlestick high and that candlestick low. That price from there to there, it's a fair value gap. Rejected off, went into the consequent encouragement, which is the halfway, 50% of the inefficiency. Then we rejected off, going lower, going back into that BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, rebalancing that again. And then as you can see now, our price is starting to pick up. So what I'm expecting from here is actually for this price to actually go above, I want this to actually go up and then maybe come back to respect that, maybe the consequent encouragement of this fair value gap, the inverse fair value gap, and then give us higher prices. So this is what I'm expecting from gold. I don't expect it, I don't want it to go lower. If it does, then probably gonna take out the sell side here. But if it's really a change of changing direction, and this buy side here should be taken out. So that's what I'm expecting from gold. I want to see more higher prices, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. It might reject off this order block here. There's also an order block. It might just reject off this daily order block here. Let me just hide this. We might just reject off of this, might as well just reject off of this order block right now, this bearish order block, and then start showing us lower prices. Bearish order block. So yeah, might just reject off of that if it wants to give us lower prices. But if it goes above and closes above this bearish order block here, we might start seeing higher prices, or we might just be coming to rebalance this fair value gap here. So yeah, I'm just expecting it to actually break all of this and then come back down to respect this fair value gap here, or just use that fair value gap the consequent encouragement, and then just go up. So that's what I have for this week. And yeah, I hope most of y'all found this insightful. And if you have any questions, maybe I might be using terms, languages, or words that you don't understand, not language, but words that you don't understand, you might just hit me up in the comment section. If you don't know what an order block is, if you don't know what a fair value gap is, a BC, a CD, just hit me up. I can just do a dedicated video for that, teaching you about those things. This is based on what I've learned from ICT. It's not really, this is my journey. This is what I know about it. I'm not saying it is like this. This is what I've learned about ICT. So if you have more questions, just hit me up. Don't forget to hit me up. And then if you want to join our Telegram channel, where we just drop in some educational stuff, some weekly analysis like this, just be throwing there and then showing you what I'm expecting for the dollar for the week, and for the NAS for the week, EURUSD for the week. Just join our Telegram channel, which is in the description box. And yeah, I hope you all have a nice week, and peace.